Hey guys, I'm on early, a little bit early. What time is it? It's 3:48. Okay, it's 3:48 my time. Today is Charmings. I'm on early because we have class. I have class tonight. What am I talking about tomorrow? Had Fruit Loop. I have class tonight at 6, and so I'm not sure how long the class is going to run. So I wanted to get on today. And I thought maybe get on a little bit early just in case a few of you show up. That gives me time to do more charmings. Let me just write down the cards for tomorrow. Okay. I always like to record. I think I'm going to have to start carrying. Hey, Lisa Vanderhelm. I think I'm going to keep Tarot Journal instead. I like having him here because I can easily reference them on the wall. But now with the clarifier cards and stuff, it's kind of hard to keep up with all of the cards. On a normal day, I can do it. I don't want you guys seeing what the cards are for tomorrow's forecast. But on like those weeklies, I don't write down all of the cards because it's just so many. It's like something like 3 and then 3 more each. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11, like 12 cards. It's like a lot. Hey, Paolo Bertolo, how are you? You're new to me. I've not seen you before. Hey, Heidi Phillips, how are you? Hi, Kelly Talbot, how are you, dear? Oh, hi, Proposition Joe. Uh-oh, I'm about to get trolled. I have a feeling I'm about to get trolled. Oh, speaking of trolling, you guys. Hey, Nicola, how are you, dear? Hey, Tammy Sylvester, Chunky up in this place over on YouTube. Hi, how are you? Oh, cool, Proposition Joe. I'm glad you're a Pisces. Maybe you're not a troll. Maybe you're just a Pisces. I don't know. I've been getting trolled lately. But I do want to say this, and for those of you, you guys know what trolling is. I'm assuming it's people that come into the room and harass me while I'm working or harass my viewers. So be mindful of that, guys. I don't have control over it, and especially when I'm reading or I'm paying attention to the charm board, I'm watching that and I'm not paying attention to the chat. And so if I'm like on a long-winded description of something, I'm probably not seeing what's going on in the chat. The other night when we did this, one of the viewers, Nate, she kind of got attacked by 2 women out of Tennessee who I had no idea who they were. So I went back and I blocked them off of the group, so they shouldn't be able to find it. But if it happens again, you know, just either you block them yourself so that you can't see them. Alert me, certainly, because she sent me a message, but she had already left the room. So send me a message and let me know who they were too. That always helps because then I can go back and look for their comments and block them. But the funny thing is I could see their comments when I went back through the chat, but when I went onto the business page, I couldn't see them. Luckily, I found one comment that they did a sad face on, and that's how I was able to find their account. So I think they're even getting smart and they're going back and erasing their comments or making them blocking me so I can't see their comments. It's something weird. But I found these 2, they sad-faced. I want to say like Tina Cherry's comment about being a writer or something. I can't remember. And I was able to find them that way and block them that way because I remember their names from when they were in the room. So, okay, good. I'm glad you're not a troll, Proposition Joe. I like your name though. Good. You're at work at the desk, Kelly. Awesome. Hi, Isabel McGuire. How are you? Hi, Sherry Rollins. Hi, Coastal Maine. So the other thing I want to say really quick about this whole thing is that Paolo Bertolo says he needs spiritual guidance. Aren't her MSG a message? Sent her a message is what Lisa's trying to say. Lisa sometimes drinks in the afternoon. Just kidding, she doesn't, but her typing is. She's on a small phone, so her typing will be a little bit random. Hey, Brittany Cardinale, how are you? So I just wanted to let you guys, who's coming, Tammy? She's coming, we just hung up. Who, Mary? I'm not in any rush, guys, because we've got a couple of hours, so I'm not gonna rush things. I kind of got on early just so that we could have time to kind of work our way through charmings and not be rushed for class. And I wanted to do it before class so that I'm not tired after class and not wanting to get on. Hey, Nancy Lowe, how are you? Oh, Mary's been located. Oh, God. Oh, Lord, Mary's been located. Thank God for that. So, what was I going to say though? Oh, the other thing I've noticed too is we've been getting people that like to come in and comment behind me on your guys' comments. People like there was one I found today, and I just happened to be notified by it via Facebook by accident, kind of thing. I was looking at my notifications. It said Michael Dallas, Michael Jackson. God, if Michael Jackson could comment, I'd really be a healer. Michael Dallas commented or something, blah, blah, blah. So I went to go look because I was like, what? And he commented on the back of somebody else's comment, somebody that was a viewer. And he was saying, please inbox me for your spiritual guidance reading now. Right. And I think you guys have seen those and I think you guys know about those. But for people that are new to me or new to the whole Facebook reading scene, you guys need to know that if you're on somebody's page and somebody other than the group person like does that, where they go, oh, inbox me for your reading, it's a lie. Do not inbox them. I would just flat out block that person. I blocked this person, Michael Dallas. I will say this though, they're getting smarter because they made it look like they were from, I don't know, you would think that they were maybe from Dallas, because I think it says on my profile, because I used to live near Dallas, that I'm from Dallas. So they changed their name to Michael Dallas, and then all of their friends are people from Nigeria. So if you look at their friends list, it's all African people, even though it's a picture of a white man. So I was kind of like, Michael, you're probably not from Dallas. You're probably from Nigeria. You're probably a scam artist. So be mindful, you guys, when you get stuff like that, even if it's publicly in a chat or in this room, do not respond to those people. They are trying to shake you down for money. Okay. So for some of you that don't get that, I just put that out there because I've noticed that it happens. It happens not just to me and my page. It happens to a lot of different people. They're getting kind of slick about it, to be honest. And now they're starting to mask their profiles, because a lot of times I get requests to come into the group and all of that sort of stuff. And I just say no, because if I don't know who you are, it'd be one thing if I saw you in a chat and you were asking for a reading and then maybe you asked to come into the group, I may let you in. But if you look sketchy or you belong to a bunch of different groups, you're just here to spam the group. So I'm not into it. So never respond to those people. Let me know if you get those messages so that I can go back and block them off the business page. And never ever reach out to those people. Another thing that I will say about this, I may comment on people's comments. Like I might say, oh, hi, or thank you, or whatever. I'm never going to hit you up for a reading. Not that anybody's ever made an account that looks like me, but if anything, I always wait for somebody to come to me to request a reading or to ask questions. I never reach out from like my business page or my personal page. If you reach out to me first and you ask me, then I'll respond. So that's always a good rule of thumb too. If you're getting somebody that, you know, I don't even know if they'll get creative like that. I shouldn't even put those ideas in their heads, but I know that they've done it to people that are definitely more, let's say, famous than me or skilled than me. There's a person that I watch called Kyle Gray, and he's a really talented guy, and he's constantly getting notified that they're making accounts. He's a published author. He's a book writer, and he writes spiritual books on angels and things like that. And he is constantly saying, you know, there's another profile there where they're using my picture. They're saying it's me. And I'm not, you know, they're contacting you saying, do you want your reading with me, blah, blah, blah. So I do the same thing. I'm not going to reach out to you to say, oh, you should buy a reading. That's just not how I do business. It's not what I'm about. I want only the people that want to be read by me to come to me and ask me. So that being said, always know that nobody's ever impersonated me so far on Facebook. But if it were to get down to that, or if anybody ever tried that, if they reached out to you as me or anything like that, it's not, more than likely, it's not me. Okay. So unless it's Michael Jackson, exactly, Heidi, exactly, Heidi. If Michael Jackson, like, if he comes like sliding into your dreams, that's me. Okay. That is me. If he like moonwalks right up in here, that's totally my doing. I resurrected him all for you for your birthday and for Christmas. Baby Jesus style. All right. So, hey, Mary, how are you? Mary Clunan, I do not do any dream work. I should. I have books on dream works and representation of dreams, and I love to like tinker around with them, but I'm no means an authority on dream work. I know little bits and pieces, bits and bobs, as they say in England. So bits and bobs. Hey, Sherry Rollins, I'm glad you're laughing. Yeah, so just be careful and be mindful of that. I don't want you guys falling for that. And I think it's so, I have to say this, I think it's so shady and it's so lame when people do that. It's like you do all the work, you build the audience, you put up the business page, you set it all up, then you're giving away free readings, and then some Yahoo wants to come in and go, oh, inbox me for your free, insightful love reading. Shut up. And the best part was he was trying to play himself off like a white dude. Like, and then you look at his friends list and he's got like 700 friends and they're all from Nigeria. And I was like, okay, this is stupid. So, Mary Clunan, let me get the link for a paid reading. Tonight is Charmings. If you want a paid card reading, that you would email me at the business page. I will show you the links where you can, let me find that 1 second. If you want a reading tonight live on the page, it is $25 for a charming on any subject you choose. And I'm finding you my link tree really quick. Give me 1 second. Here we go. On the link tree, it is $25 on the link tree because we are doing it live in front of an audience. So it's not really the most intimate of experiences. That's why it's discounted. A private reading with me over the phone for an hour or via Zoom. We can do Zoom readings too. That would be, or Facebook Messenger is how I usually do it. That would be $50 for the reading. Oh, private is $50, dear. And it's an hour. So you have me for an hour. Do me love reading, says Tammy. Okay, Tammy, I'm gonna put you down for love reading tonight. She wants that love reading. Inbox me now for your love reading. Inbox me now for your passionate love reading. So stupid. Inbox me now. Okay, Michael, let me get right on that. What, you need, what, you're Prince from Nigeria and you have some money for me? Oh my God, in a bank account with my name on it? Ah! But see, people fall for that shit. Like, I don't know why. I think that they're just lonely or they're desperate or they're hopeful or whatever. And it's just so fucked. I mean, I get that they're in an economy where they need to do whatever they can to survive, but it's like, don't do this. Like, rip off your own people in a way. Like, I don't know. It's weird. So we're going to do Tammy tonight for love. Yeah, Marianne, I'm a fat bottom girl. Mary, are you doing a past life tonight? Hey, Vicky, how are you, dear? Just saying hello to everyone. Yeah, so on the link tree, you'll see where the Facebook business page is there. It also has the PayPal link in that link that I just gave you. So that's where you would send the money to, is that PayPal account. And then you would just email me and say, I sent you money. I verify the money, then we pick a date and time, and then we meet either over Facebook Messenger, or I can set up a Zoom link and you can meet me in a Zoom room, whichever is more comfortable and easier for you. 1 second, guys. I'm going to turn on this light. I forgot. All right. Now we've got light on our board. I'm also going to share one other thing and then we'll get started. So my hair is like, oh, I was just taking a nap. It's like wet and rainy and gross. It snowed in Austin today, Mary. It's been snowing all day up in Austin, which I think is wild. This will be coming. I don't know a lot about these, but I got these yesterday at the store. I'm really excited. I will unbox them. They're Lenormand cards, and Lenormand, I got 2 different styles. I mean, they're pretty much, my understanding is Lenormand's pretty standardized, but it's a different style of divination. So I'm excited to play with these, and I'll do unboxings of these at some point, and then you guys will be seeing Lenormand. I don't know, I've never worked with Lenormand, so it'll be interesting to say the very least. So be on the lookout for that. And that'll be fun. She went Freddie Mercury. She wants Freddie Mercury. Who wants Freddie Mercury? Watch cricket charms jump out of the box. That could be possible. You never know. You never know. Please share out the video. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. It's ever so important. Anytime you guys watch a YouTube video of mine, the thumbs up is really key because it shows the ratio of likes to views helps If that's my understanding, if you have a high like ratio to that total amount of views you have, I think that YouTube then will take it and show it to other people because they consider it quote unquote good content. So only hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying the content, but that helps the channel too. Booking private readings helps the channel. I do have a Patreon page that you guys should know about. It's at patreon.com. Under Engelgeist, if you want to support the daily channel there or the daily forecast and anything that I do, all of this stuff, people that support me over there, they have a subscription service where it automatically gets deducted once a month and you can choose your subscription level. But all of those are forms of support of the channel. So it helps. Every little bit helps, as they say. So that's available to you. And I do have a daily forecast every day that goes live. Well, not live. It's pre-taped. I don't know what the dogs are doing. It's pre-taped, but let me actually get the dogs out of my bedroom first because the last time I did this, one of them peed in the bed. Hold on. Gross, I know. Hey guys, why don't you come out here? I know it's not here. It's not Look at it. Thank you. All right, thank you. Yeah, no, last Sunday when I did this, I went and I did the charming, and then I went and I watched TV in the living room, and I went to go get in my bed, and my dog was acting really weird, and I couldn't figure out why he was acting weird, and he was like, oh, like, and I got in the tub, and I just did normal stuff, and he was like following me around, but acting spooked, and I was like, what is going on with you? And I looked in the bed, I felt the bed, because sometimes he sleeps really deeply, and he's getting older, and he loses control of his bladder, it just happens. And so I was feeling the blanket, because it's like a fuzzy, warm winter blanket, and I couldn't feel any pain. I was like, it's okay, bud. Why are you acting so weird? And he was just acting weird. And then I go, it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I go and I pull the covers back, and everything's fine. I'm like, and the dog's still acting kind of sketchy. And then I go and I move the pillow, and there was pee all down the pillow behind my pillow. And I was like, oh no. So I just stripped the whole bed. I was so angry. So I just stripped the whole bed, but I knew something was wrong by the way he was acting. So I think he was in there sleeping while I was in here charming, and he just like lolls out and like just peed all over the fucking pillows. So I had to wash all the pillows and everything last Sunday, like late into the evening. So we're not gonna have that happen again. I lock them out now. So while I'm in here, because sometimes they'll get in there and they'll play and wrestle and then fall asleep, and they're like, they take over the bed. So it's kind of gross. All right. That's fine, Mary. You don't have, there's no rush. You book whenever it feels right to you. Don't even worry. So, and I've got people to do tonight, like for the Patreon subscribers. So that was what I was going to say too. With Patreon, those of you that are here that do this, on the highest level of the Patreon subscription service, you get a free charming every month if you choose to subscribe at that level, which is $33.33. You get one free charming a month. So it's not free technically. They're paying for it in that price. But they kind of get moved to the front of the line on the charm nights. So they get to pick their subject once a month, or I let them like sort of cash in other ways if they want. So a lot of people have been getting, I would book for now. Okay, I've read that. Hell to the yes for a Sunday off. Cooking, cocktailing, and watching Gemini, multitasking at its finest. Awesome. Get it, Bobby Joe. A lot of people getting those. Pee on a pillow beats pee on a mattress. That's true. And I have a mattress protector for that very reason, because bulldogs are notorious for being kind of weak bladdered or hard to potty train, that kind of thing. My dogs are potty trained. They just get lazy is what it is. They'll just, it's not even a lazy thing. For him, it's like he falls asleep and he doesn't realize he's done it until it's too late. He like wakes up from his sleep and he's peed the bed. So, all right, anyways, why are we even talking about that? So, Lisa, are you cashing in yours tonight too? And Kelly, you are also on the list if you want to get one tonight. It's up to you. I do have a time limitation. I have to be done a little bit before 6 so that I can be ready to go into the class at 6. So there is that aspect to all of this. No, Lisa's not. Okay, that's good to know. That's fine. Mary is going to go. Mary Lymon, not Mary Clunan. Mary Clunan says she messaged me. I see that Mary, thank you. Did you message me? Inbox me now for your free reading, for your insightful free reading. Thank you, Mary. I hope you did. I can't wait to receive it. Will you please wear some sort of tribal gear and chuck a spear at me while you're doing it, please? Just so it's really authentic, please. Lisa is not cashing in. That's fine. You can wait till next week. That's totally fine too. Let's get started on Tammy and Mary. Figure out what's going on in Tammy's love life. Hubba hubba. And I'm going to switch cameras. Paolo, hey, Christina Avalos, how are you? I don't know if Paolo's still here. Paolo, you asked for spiritual guidance. I'm not sure who you are. You're new to me. So if you're still here, I did see your request, but this is a charm night. So if you want to stick around, you can hang out with the group and get to know everybody. And I do free reading nights and stuff like that, or different things throughout the week. So you can always follow the channel. All right, so let's get started. I am going to change my camera. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, guys. Don't mind my mess on my desk. My desk is so messy. Okay. All right. Absolutely nothing, Timmy. I'll save the $25 for ambiance candles. LOL. All right. So let's see what's going on for Tammy Sylvester's love life. Hi, Jillian. Happy New Year to you, too. Oh, thank you for watching on YouTube. I appreciate it, Jillian. What does Tammy need to know about her love life? Oh, wow. That went flying way out the room. Let's see here. Where did that go? Hold on. There was a charm that went flying like to East Jesus. Where did it go? Wow, that's weird. It was this. Oh, it was the baby. The baby flew out onto the ground. The little plastic baby, guys. But something else. I thought I saw a Scrabble tile go flying too. Oh, well, I'll have to find it later. So the baby fell on the ground. So I'm gonna leave the baby up here. I don't think he's important. Well, he might be important, I don't know, but I didn't even see him fly out. I saw a Scrabble tile go flying across the table and over the side of the table. I could have sworn. All right, I don't know where it went though, so I don't know what Scrabble letter it was, but we'll see what we've got going on here. So we've got a number X, which is an 8. I'm going to say this. 8s are about bringing in balance, right? That sort of harmony between the 8 that goes like this, you know, like the 8 makes that sort of infinity symbol when it's turned on its side. So it's that harmony. It's that reciprocation of energy between two people. The X to me feels a little bit guarded though. Not that we're talking about the letter X, but to me it feels a little bit like a no, or it could represent your ex, your like ex-partner, that sort of a thing. But this to me feels a little bit like not now. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it feels a little bit like on guard. So let's look at what's going on in the charms, in the department of love. To me, what I want to say right out of the gate is it feels like things are kind of good. You do have the new charm, Lakshmi. She represents kind of, I believe she's the girlfriend to, not Vishnu, but to Krishna. So she is sort of that feminine, fun, playful deity that she plays music. I believe she plays a flute, or it might be Krishna that plays the flute, but she's very, to me, the way that I personify her is she'd be like the Indian version of Juliet in a way, except she's a goddess, right? She's young, she's exuberant, there's hope with her. And then next to her is the green serenity charm, which to me feels like things are good for you right now, or at least they have been good leading up to this point. I like the green color. This to me associates with the heart chakra. It also associates with healing. Lakshmi to me associates with maybe putting yourself first in a very friendly and fun way, maybe feeling attractive, feeling open to the idea of love and the exploration of that. I also like that we have the queen crown here in this very center. This is in the conscious mind. It is flipped upside down. That's not such a big deal to me, but it does say that you're putting yourself first is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And this down here in what would be considered the subconscious area speaks to there is this idea or this goal of kind of taking care of you and you first, and there's nothing wrong with that is kind of the feeling that I'm getting, or what I'm looking at there. So we have the book, the old rusty key. This is like the oldest key in the box. And what I feel like this key is kind of telling us is it sort of feels like it's pointing into the past. And I don't ever like to tell people to go back to the past, right? But I kind of feel like this key wants to open up a door to the past. Maybe there's something from the past. It could be an ex coming back into your life, or maybe we need to look at some of our relationships with our exes to understand where we went wrong or where things maybe got out of hand. I think that some of this is about understanding how we maybe treated ourselves in love in the past versus how we're holding ourselves in the now. And I kind of really like how we're holding ourselves in the now, right? You got a lot of these glass charms actually. But I like all this down here coupled with the queen crown. Now this is the dream catcher. To me, this is more in the past a little bit, or sort of like dealing with the more recent past. And when I look at this, it feels like maybe our dreams were dashed or shattered, maybe turned upside down. We haven't lost touch with them. We're still maybe forming them or putting them together. And I do like that you have the 2 die here, which indicates that there is this focus on a coupling of some sort, you and another person. Let me see here. We have the swan here. The swan is face down, and swans represent grace to me, right? They're also extremely they can be extremely fierce creatures. They can be very familial and protective of their family. So that to me would be a big focus for you. I also wonder if there's this idea that in relationships, you have to trade one for the other. Like you can't be present in your family, yet be in a relationship, or vice versa. Like if there's a trade-off or something, I don't know why I feel that. I kind of feel like the swan being flipped over is it's not that you lose that protectiveness over your family, but is there this feeling that when you're in a relationship or when you're involved, or maybe in the past when you've been involved with people, areas around your family or something like that has maybe slipped or not been as strong for you, or you judge yourself in that way. And I feel like that's what flips this swan over where we can't see it, is because we feel like maybe we've, in the past, maybe we've put the other person before things that are important to us, like, you know, and this baby could indicate family too, certainly. And I know your daughter and stuff, right? So I'm not sure, but I kind of get a feeling that that might be some of that. And that's also why this key is pointed to the past, like trying to remember that. I almost feel like the message here is that you're trying to create it all. We're trying to have it all. We're trying to have the family that ourselves first, right? And maintain our well-being while doing everything else, instead of doing everything. It feels case, because that's what I like about these 3 charms, certainly. And I think that here we get to learn about unlocking sort of the behaviors of the past and where they didn't serve us. And it becomes like a wisdom or a knowledge for us. That's the book here, right? Where we have a better understanding of what's happened in the past and how it actually serves us now in the now, because we're no longer doing that sort of behavior or allowing that sort of stuff to go on. You're losing audio? Is it buffering still, guys? It might be my connection. Can you guys hear me? Is it my phone being too close to the computer, maybe? Let me know if you guys can hear me. You can now? Okay, it might have been my phone. My phone was next to the computer. I know sometimes my phone goes out when I'm talking and it's on the desk next to the computer. I have a feeling it has to do with the phone and being close to the computer. Let me know if it goes out back out too. It could also, we've had rain here all day, so it could be the internet connection too. So I do like all of that. Let's look at these charms here. We have wisdom. I like that wisdom is up in the higher mind. I think that there's still some things that you're sorting out. That's why this wisdom is folded over, right? Where we don't see it quite so clearly. It doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. It means that you're sort of sorting out your wisdom right now. I think by this book is also signifies knowledge or wisdom to me. And so I think that if anything that you are doing in love right now, you're going to be approaching it differently and more intelligently than maybe you feel as though you have in the past. Not to say that things in the past haven't been smart. It's just maybe you haven't always felt like you are as in control. And what I see here is it feels like you're putting you and your peace of mind first and foremost. Now this one is upright, but it's so scraped up. Oh my God, I can't even read this. Can you guys read that? I don't think you can read that. That's gonna come out of the box at this point because the letters are just totally scraped from stirring up the charms. I believe this says, with an attitude of gratitude, something I can't remember. It's like anything is possible or something like that. So we're gonna toss that over there. I am going to use the part that I can read and make sense of, which is with the attitude of gratitude. And I feel like that's not quite there yet, but because it's flipped over. But I feel like moving forward into the future, you will become more grateful, or there will be more access to more gratitude in your life, and that's going to also create a little bit more of a optimism, a sunniness. That's golden, like sort of amber color to me. There's a warmth, and what I like about this. So as we move forward into this wisdom and this understanding from the higher mind, we're going to be able to access the gratitude that is in here, because I do see that it says with an attitude of gratitude. I just don't know what the last part of the writing is. So that's going to have to go in the garbage, basically, because that's a useless charm to me at this point. And then this one is faith. So, and I think that this one is flipped over only because we're not there yet, right? Like we're kind of moving our way through the board. I do like that something's happening here in your adjustment to maybe your dreams about relationships, how you perceive yourself in relationships, where you place yourself in relationships. And I do like that there's this idea or this focus on placing yourself first, making sure that you're taken care of, not necessarily losing any of that like you maybe had in the past. And so like nobody has to sort of, it's like, it feels like when I'm looking at these charms, it feels like sometimes there might be a belief in your mind, Tammy, that if you're in a relationship, to be in that relationship, you might have to put your partner first, right? And in doing so, you might lose some of the focal points or things that are important to you in some way. I'm not exactly sure. I think you perceive it that way, right? It doesn't mean that it's actually true. It's like you maybe feel that way, like you're failing somebody if you're trying to give to somebody else kind of thing. And I think that's not the truth. And I think you're beginning to figure that out. That's kind of what I feel like these charms are telling me, certainly with the wisdom, the serenity charm. Lakshmi to me feels playful. So I think that there's an optimism and an exuberance. There's this openness to the idea of love. If you don't feel like you're open to the idea of love just yet, let spring come about, because I think that soon she will kind of rise up, because she's also down here in the subconscious. And serenity is down here too. So there's this focus in keeping everything um, not even keel, because it doesn't feel out of keel. It feels like ultimately it's like we're putting ourselves first, and we're learning to do that from the relationships of the past, right? And in doing that, we're kind of setting ourselves up so that we can move into the future better prepared for what's to come. And I think that something is to come. It's going to be something better than maybe what you've had in the past, because we've sort of clearly looked through the past. That's this key kind of pointing back towards the past. Like it feels like some of the answers in some of the situations that you might have been involved in, when we unlock them or when we open up those doors and look at them for what they are, we understand we don't have to do that anymore. Does that make sense? That's where the man went into the trash can of my memories. Well, I also like that faith comes up towards moving forward. Like in essence, we have to have faith in sort of putting ourselves first and allowing that, and then moving forward in that faith starts to help create that too. And that faith charm being in blue to me speaks to the idea of certainty blue, which I like that too. But and indeed you would be broken from the loss of your husband, but I also feel like there might be some sort of strengthening that's happening for you, because the book and the wisdom charms speak to the idea that either you're becoming like smarter in some way, more knowledgeable in some way, more understanding of what it is you actually need. It's that kind of an energy, right? And I like that the crown is in the center. You have the pretty crown, right? Which is the queen's crown, the sparkly, glittery one. So it feels like you're trying to put yourself first. And I think that that's important as you like kind of flip this crown sort of over and make the focus more about you. There's nothing selfish or wrong in doing that. And as you do that, you're able to sort of bring that forward. Let me know if you need to take a picture of this, Tammy. Awesome, thank you. All right, so Mary is next, Mary Lymon. And Kelly Talbot, are you still here? Did you want yours tonight? I don't know, Kelly's at work though. I think she's working the front desk. Let me look, Ashley, thank you. And Mary Clunan, I do see your message, so thank you. I'll read it after this and I'll get back to you, dear. Let me see here. Where is, there we go. Ashley, are you Micale? Is that you, dear? Okay, perfect. I do have it here. All right, so you'll go after Mary Lymon. I'm just waiting for Mary to speak up, because Mary also paid me for a reading, so I got to do hers really quick. Miss Mary Lymon. Paging Mary Lymon. Mary Lymon. Is Mary here still? Did we lose Mary? You're welcome, Ashley. Give me one moment. Okay, you are here. All right, so Mary, you want past life still? I see you, Mary. Look at how she uses his. Can you guys see this? I don't know if you can see this, but do you see my bulldog on the floor there? She uses him as a pillow for her chin. Oh my God. Yes, past life. Okay. All right, we're gonna do a past life for Mary. Okay. All right, let's see. What? All right, it's a hot night for Lakshmi tonight. She's out again, and the X is out again. All right, we've got an X, we've got a P, we've got an S, and we've got an A. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 would boil down to a 4. 4s would be about stability for me. Lakshmi's back, and we have Vishnu. It's funny, I like coupled with the bull, Lakshmi, Vishnu, the meditation. To me, this makes me feel like India. I feel like you are maybe a cattle farmer. The bull is making me feel that. I feel like you were female. I feel like you were a young girl, Mary, in this lifetime. I feel like you were quite pretty in this lifetime. I feel like you were also very sort of connected to spirit. That would be the meditative man. And then the strength here, we have this strong charm. This is one of the new charms that says strong on it. Let me just look at this for a minute. I feel like for some reason this is your husband or your partner, this Vishnu, and though he's turned over, I feel like you might be lost him later in life. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I mean, I just think it was like to natural causes or that sort of a thing, something unsuspected. We have the plane, which speaks to the idea that there was travel of some sort. And I don't mean plane travel, I mean just travel or movement. And it makes me think that, all right, so I kind of feel like you might have been this poor, like cattle farmer girl. I feel like you might have been quite beautiful. You attracted quite a bit of attention in this lifetime. I believe that you had like a connection to your higher self or your God, something like that. Not only were you beautiful, but people noticed something else about you. That's this meditative charm here. There was some sort of aura you had about you in this lifetime. And I feel like it attracted a fair amount of male attention. Nothing bad or lewd or torrid or anything like that. I feel like you married a good man. I feel like Vishnu represents a good man, but when he's flipped over like this, I feel like he maybe was with you for a time. You maybe even had children. It was a very sort of, I think you might have married up a little bit in your sort of, you know, my understanding is India has a caste system, right? Where people don't usually marry outside of their social structures, right? And I feel like he was sort of what we would consider maybe middle class, right? He's not super special. He's not like some sort of dignitary. It's not anything like that. But he was a good man, is my feeling. He was a good husband. I kind of get a feeling he might have been older than you, like maybe like by a little bit more than what was the norm back then. But I feel like you were married to him. He treated you kindly. He was good to you. I feel like you were quite, like I said, quite beautiful. You attracted quite a bit of attention. When I look here, this 4 on this green dice, I feel like has to do with the 4 in these numbers that boils out of these numbers. It's like about firm foundations, staying strong. We have this word strong here too. To me, I feel like there was this, not only were you strong in this lifetime when you were sort of like working on the farm, right? Because I feel like you came from this farm, like these cattle farmers, so to speak, where you weren't very wealthy, you weren't very rich, but you had a wealth and a richness within you spiritually, or a connection to your higher power. Aside from being physically like attractive, right? And people noticed you in that way, you also had this air, this richness to you that didn't equate out to sort of money or material wealth, is kind of my feeling. When you married this gentleman, my feeling was your life might have improved like slightly because he was a little bit above in the social realm, right? Or he maybe had a little bit more, but it was still very much like a working life. You had a family, you took care of your family, you did a very good job, and you were still sort of had this kind of richness to you, right? I see it also here with this green. Green usually represents 2 things to me, either money or healing, right? And when I think about that, it makes me think of the heart chakra. So it's like, it wasn't necessarily this money, this life was not about money for you. It was about having this sort of deeper, like kind of rich spiritual connection. I feel like this 5 might represent the totality of your family. Like maybe it was you, him, and 3 children. And that's the 5 that's sort of in the center of all of this. A lot of your strength and power, this is a Reiki symbol called Shokure, which is the building of power. To me, I feel like a lot of your strength and power came from not only the spiritual connection, but also the love that you had and the support that you had and the care that you gave to your family, right? I do feel like he passed away before you, and I feel like that was a loss for you. And you being younger than him might have left you with quite a few, like let's say, a decade or 2 where you had to live and navigate the family by yourself, like you automatically went into the role of matriarch, where you might have been the sort of, I guess matriarch is the right word, like the wise mother or grandmother at that point, where you had to head up the family and kind of to make the decisions of where the family or the business or whatever it was, where it had to go. I don't feel like you liked that role though, let's say that. I feel like there is this reluctance to want to take that on or that responsibility. Your life was slightly easier when he was alive because he would make all of those decisions for the family. And that was sort of the way things were done, right? It was easier for you in that regard. But you stepped into those shoes and you dealt with it as best you could. I'm just looking at this. The starfish upside down, like where its belly is being shown, to me, I feel like this is about the time period when you stepped into those shoes, when you had to be sort of maybe the one that steered the course of the family for the while as he maybe passed or moved. Like when you lost him and you had to step into those shoes, it was an opportunity to shine, and you did the best that you could. I feel like that's where I feel the reluctance is sort of like this starfish to me, that ability to shine. It feels vulnerable or reluctant. And so that's where I feel that vulnerable or reluctance. Like when we had to step into that role, maybe it wasn't necessarily, maybe people didn't always take you quite so seriously, because even when you got older, I feel like you were quite beautiful, right? And so people, like when you might have had to be the head of the household, even though you were a woman, and you had to deal with other, say, businessmen with whatever the business was, or maybe your husband's friends or whatever, they treated you slightly differently because you were a woman, right? And I think that kind of made you feel uncomfortable is the best way to describe it. Not that it was bad, right? And not that it just wasn't the most comfortable place for you to be. And I think that part of that, the sort of the moral to this story is what I'm feeling about is like we see this one word which is strong here, right? And so to me it feels like in this loss you still had to step into another form of strength in this lifetime where you had to kind of man the helm, so to speak, of where the family went, how the family like evolved, all of that sort of stuff. And even though you were reluctant to do that, you did it. You took on that role, and you continue to allow like even like any uncomfortability that you were feeling, right? You didn't allow that to get in your way. So ultimately, you did shine. You did do a good job, but you maybe that never saw it that way, or felt fully kind of complete or okay with it, is sort of the feeling that I get. I don't feel like anything super significant in this life in the sense of any sort of major tragedy or anything like that. I mean, it was a tragedy losing your husband, don't get me wrong, but you recovered from that. You stepped into taking care of what needed to be taken care of, even if that what didn't feel like your normal role or what you felt most comfortable with. And all of this was sort of this expansion of, and I was just saying, as I was saying expansion, I was looking at these like you could do like expansion, into like this next part of believing who you were as a, not as a woman, right? But it had to do with you being a woman in this lifetime and also being a pretty woman. It was sort of weird. Like, it made it uncomfortable for, like, nobody knew how to handle you. And it wasn't that you were pushy or you were quite demure and sweet, is the feeling that I get in this lifetime. And so it wasn't easy for you to step into those roles and have to be responsible for, you know, overseeing the books or overseeing the children and making sure. I mean, you did that stuff as a mother, sure, but when he passed, you had to take on his roles too. And then you held those roles until your passing, and then it was passed on to your children, so to speak, right? And so, but all of that was this sort of gain of power. All of that was this strengthening. All of that like sort of taught you more about who you were and what you were about. And some of that stemmed from the ability to do that stemmed from earlier on in your lifetime when you were this like sort of like, for lack of a better term, simple cattle farmer, right? When you lived with your family in your home, you had this spiritual connection and this connection to self that helped you to step into this other aspect later in the lifetime. Does that make sense? Hey, Andrew, how are you? Demure would be a good word, maybe. Just sort of like, to me, I just feel like she's much more sort of peaceful and charming and didn't necessarily want the spotlight, although she naturally obtained it through not only her beauty, but also through circumstances in her life, where it was almost like she was running from it the whole time. Not running from it, but not in need of it, is the feeling that I get. And then when he passed, she had to sort of step into the roles and deal with some of the things to keep the family moving and keep things going the way that they had been going through his work. So I feel like this is trying to call upon, like, maybe in this lifetime when you chose not to stay hidden, not that you really could hide in this lifetime, because you attracted attention naturally as much as you maybe wanted to hide, right? But if you find yourself hiding at all in this lifetime, I feel like these charms are reminding you that you don't need to, and that if you step up to the responsibility of whatever you might feel like you need to avoid, or that you don't feel like you have the ability to, I don't know if conquer is the right word, but the ability to control. Well, control is not the right word either, because that's not what I feel like these charms are trying to tell me. They're trying to tell me that you can do things that you don't necessarily feel as though you have the capacity to handle. You have done it in the past. Jesus, no wonder why I'm so tired in this life. Totally. No wonder why, there's, I just feel like it means that you can step up into new challenges in more surprising ways than you know how. Let's say that. That's my feeling from this reading. Oh, I just looked at my phone and it says 4:44, so that's a good sign. All right, so do you need a picture of this, Mary? I also think that this is important too, because this sense of self and spirit that you've had from a very early age in this lifetime is strong, and you might want to call on that in this lifetime because you have it, is what that says to me there. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, Ashley, are you here, my dear? And then Kelly Talbot, if you want to do your reading, we'll do it next if you're still here. I can clear the board. Anything you're feeling? Okay, general reading for Ashley. What does Ashley need to know? Okay, let's see. We have the letter E, and it's a number 1. So the focus would be on the self, Ashley. That's what this is telling me. The E, I'm not exactly sure if that has any significance, but the number 1 to me would say keeping the focus on the self and all of that. We have the Mary in the center in the conscious mind. To me, this represents as you. I feel like this is she's laying what you can't see very well is she's laying on top of the Fool tarot coin, right? It's face upright. The Fool is the beginning of the major arcana, the journey, and it's about sort of new beginnings, that optimism, that open-mindedness, sort of being somewhat naive in a way. I kind of get a feeling because you have the ring here, there's a ring here with the black heart. I kind of feel like there might be a transition out of a relationship for you, or that something that has happened around a relationship for you where you may have lost some sort of semblance of self in it. And the reason why I say that is this Mary, although she's standing upright, she's face down. And I feel like this Mary represents as you. I also feel like her being face down means she's facing the Fool's journey, right? The new beginning, some sort of new beginning that needs to take place. And I think that this might be a new beginning about how we see and perceive ourselves, right? I love that you have the Mary here, which says to me that you are a strong female. You are this like sort of quintessential, nurturing, loving, feminine, wonderful. To me, this Mary, I'm going to just flip her over. She's like the quintessential feminine, divine feminine in the box, right? So this says to me that I feel like you have all of these qualities, right? This sort of centeredness, spiritualness, nurturing, mothering, loving, all of those wonderful things that Mary represents. But for some reason you maybe don't feel them, or maybe they weren't honored for you in some sort of a relationship or something, because I feel like that's what this ring is telling me. The Fool's coin underneath speaks to the idea of something new is about to change or shift. And I think that might be around the realization of whatever it is that you've maybe either been denying or not seeing about yourself, if that makes sense. Maybe you've given it away to somebody else in the around a relationship. Maybe they told you who they thought you were over and over again, and you started to believe it. It's kind of got that vibe to it. And I feel like you've forgotten who you are. That's sort of this Mary here. Doesn't mean that you're not Mary. It means you've just forgotten or you've lost touch with it. And I think that the Fool's journey indicates, or the Fool coin indicates, that it's time to reopen the doors to who that woman is within you, and to bring her back round, or to bring her back out of you, right? Through the next series of events that might come to transpire or happen in your life. Now, the other coin here is another tarot coin. I just want to flip it over and see what it is. So this is the Seven of Pentacles. To me, this is about hard work. Seven of Pentacles is always like, through hard work, we understand everything that we have and that we've created. It being flipped over also speaks to the idea that I feel like sometimes you undervalue what you do, or it's similar to this Mary's story. It's this idea that, like, when you go and you put things into things, like, and sorry, that sounded a little bit dumb. When you go into, say, like, let's say interpersonal relationships, I feel like you put your best foot forward. You probably give more than you receive. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting from all of this. And it's kind of, maybe it's time to stop doing that. This Seven of Pentacles feels like, when it's flipped over like that, it's like you're not giving enough credit to the work that you do, right? And what you bring to the table, what you put on the table, or what you put into your relationships, how much of you is there. And the thing is that there's a lot of you there, with Mary being here in the center. And so when I look at that, I just want you to kind of think about, maybe, how do you perceive what it is that you give. I'm sorry, Bob, I didn't mean to move my chair. What it is that you give, and even if others don't see it, do you value it, right? And I think that you probably do at, like, say, a logical level, but do you truly value it, or do you truly allow others and how they treat it, or how they view it, whether or not they honor it? Do you take that information as more valid than your own, right? Now let's look here. This is more in the past. This says, only you can give your special gift to the world, okay? And again, this mirrors what I'm seeing here with this Seven of Pentacles, and with Mary laying on her stomach here. She's almost not being seen just yet. I kind of feel like this is saying, like, do you honor what you bring to the table? Just because others don't see it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not of value. I actually think that what you bring to the table, or what you've brought to, say, let's just use like romantic relationships as an example, because I feel like this ring up here at the top gives me this idea that there's this romance thing going on around this, that there might have been a breakup of some sort, or some sort of challenge in a relationship, and you're trying to find yourself again, trying to find who you are. Again, we've got that number one up here, which is the self, right? The focus is on Ashley today. And that's completely fine and totally acceptable. That's where we want it. Because the thing is what Ashley needs to figure out here is she puts a lot of time and dedication and hard work into everything that she does. But does she value that, right? Or is it just others that like kind of take, and they don't necessarily honor who you are? And then in that not honoring of who you are, do we start to believe that, oh, maybe we're not deserving of more than what we get? And that's this part where I feel like it's these coins and these charms are trying to tell you, no, you deserve so much more, so much more because of what you give. So this is one of the green dice, the number 3. The 3 to me can represent a couple of different things. It could be like 3 different people or components that are at work here. Sometimes the 3 automatically takes me to the place of the mind, body, and the spirit. I like that they're kind of in a row this way, like long ways. So to me, it feels like there's an equality hopefully happening, or a healing between those 3 things. This would be a little bit more heading into the future. So as we start to look at how we're treated, how we're valued, do we value ourselves? Yes, there's always that idea that we understand what we put into situations, but do we really value it, right? Or are we so busy giving it away and then expecting somebody else to pay us back through the acknowledgement of it, that we don't actually ever feel fulfilled because they never really get it because we're not valuing it in the first place? Does that make sense? So this green to me speaks to the idea of that healing, or that sort of understanding that's coming about through this process for you. Although it might be hard, allow it to sort of take place, allow sort of new doors to open up. There are new opportunities. There could be some sadness. I mean, I'm not even sure. I'm on this sort of breakup idea. Ashley, is there some sort of a breakup? Can you tell me if there's a yes or a no around that? Just give me a yes or a no. Because I've been seeing everybody else's comments, but I'm not seeing. I don't know if Ashley's responded. I'm sort of missed. Okay, so that's a yes. Thank you, Ashley. And that's what I feel. And I really feel like there's like almost like not a rebirth, but kind of maybe I'll call it a rebirth, where you're starting to rediscover who you are and the power of that. And I think that you're far more powerful. Just this being Mary laying here and the Fool's Journey speaks to the idea that you're far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And when I use the form powerful, I'm talking about, it can be a gentle power, right? It can be a nurturing, loving power. It can be a sweet, empathic, heartfelt power. It doesn't have to be like powerful in the sense like, look at how great I am. To me, there's a gentleness with Mary and a nurturing with Mary that is absolutely beautiful, and that exists within you, and you give that to others you have given that to others, I believe, in the past very freely. And now it's time to sort of honor that within you and strengthen that and bring that forward once again, because it deserves to come back out. And I feel like that's what this green dice is saying. So underneath here, we have courage, right? So that, to me, it being on the white glass stone also speaks to the idea of, being courageous in owning who we are, what we are, standing true in that, all of that sort of stuff. And I do believe that this is transforming for you, or will change. Right now, it might be a little bit hard because you're dealing with this sort of sadness around the breakup and that sort of a thing. So I can sense that could be what's going on for you in the current moment, but it will change, it will shift. You will step back into your own power and understand that, everything sort of serves a purpose in a way. This here says, who knows? Which I like this because it feels like the next chapter is not written. This is down here in the subconscious mind. And so as we have courage to move forward in this new understanding of, okay, this is our new normal. We may not have this relationship to rely upon anymore. We might have to rely upon solely ourselves. I do believe that you can do that. There's no doubt in my mind that you can't with that Mary in the center. But it might take some courage and, some rearranging of how we perceive things, how we view ourselves, that sort of thing. But this who knows in the subconscious says wow, the chapter's really not written yet. The options are there for all sorts of new things to happen, new opportunities to come our way, new potential relationships, all of that sort of stuff. But I would say choose wisely in the sense that don't just let any Joe Schmo in to fill the void. Fill the void with yourself is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Not to say that you would, right? But this who knows, it speaks to being full of hope. It speaks to being full of possibility. It speaks to the future and what you kind of got planned. You step into this energy, you can kind of create all kind of things, right? All kinds of and I'm talking about things for yourself, things that you desire, that nurture your soul, that make you happy, that make you feel fulfilled and whole. And you also, I will say this too, I'll go so far as to say that I feel like this Mary, you have that ability to do that for others too. It's just a feeling that I get. And so when you're in your sort of power, or in this nurturing state with yourself and believing and feeling whole and complete and all of that, you can do so much more for others from a sort of a different place than maybe you have in the past. This 6 dice to me feels like it's on black, which is not a bad thing down here. Black is not necessarily a bad thing either, but to me, black can represent the void. It can represent negativity, that sort of thing. But when it's down here in the subconscious, and it being the 6, which is the highest number dice in the on the dice, it's the highest number. It speaks to, and next to who knows, to me it speaks to there's a whole lot brewing down in your subconscious that I don't even think you have a clue about. And what I mean is that the possibilities really are endless. There is opportunities, big opportunities. And the reason why I say big is because the number 6 is the biggest number on the dice. So there's opportunities for big things to come in the future, as long as you stay on this path of kind of staying focused on the self, not giving like, you know, your sort of self-worth away to situations that probably weren't deserving of you in the first place, right? That's why they've fallen away. That's why they've fallen apart. And I know that's easier said than done because breakups are hard and painful and there's a loss that you have to kind of mourn and go through. But don't sort of add to that process by denying yourself who you are and what you've done and the power that you are. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for you. Sorry, my dog is snoring. You're welcome, Ashley. If you want to take a picture of the board, there's also, I will say this too, there's new opportunities in that Fool's Journey underneath this Mary too. So to me, like, stay with this idea of really honoring the work that you do and what you do and how you go about doing it, and the beauty that, you know, that has, right? As you honor that, new doors begin to open up for you and new opportunities. That's where the who knows energy, and you're going to need to have the courage to step through these doors, like to take these chances or what you might consider to be risks. But to me, they don't necessarily feel like risks. They feel exciting. It's not Ashley Clark, Mary. Her name is Ashley Rollins. Mikhail. Oh, thank you. She says that was definitely point on. She's on Facebook. That's why you can't see her, Mary. You're on YouTube. So I think that there's like a new doors opening up. Maybe it's the 2021 shift, you know, into a new year, but I think that there's great new opportunities, and holding yourself at the center of this spread as that Mary, to me, it's really nice. Like, I think that stepping into that power and who you are and what you do and how you nurture, turn that nurturing onto yourself first and foremost at this time, and then, you know, step into that sort of awareness of the beauty of your true nature, and then let that be your guide, and the possibilities feel kind of limitless for you. So is Miss Kelly still here? I don't know if Kelly's still here. I know Kelly's at work. So if Kelly's here, I'll do one more for Kelly. And if not, I'm going to sign off because I do have class in about an hour. So if Kelly's here, we can do Kelly's Charming. And then I'm going to call it quits for the night. Thank you guys for buying Charmings. I really appreciate it. Mary Lyman over on YouTube says for you, Ashley, to step into your power, Ashley. Mary, she can't see your comments. You know that, right? I don't think she can. I think she can only see the Facebook comments. I don't know if you guys can see each other's comments. I can see all of your comments through my chat room, but I don't think you guys can on each of your platforms. But thank you for the warm wishes for Ashley, Mary. That's sweet. I am the go-between. Well, that's why they call me the medium. Get it? But I'm bummed. All right, I'm going to clear the board. I'm going to wait and see if Kelly steps forward. If Kelly doesn't step forward, we can do for Kelly next week. She says, Ashley says, no, I can't see them, but thank you, Mary. And she gives you a smiley face, Mary. Mary's sometimes on Facebook too, so you guys might cross paths at some point, just so you know. Medium rare. Exactly, Andrew. Exactly. Medium rare, as they say. All right, Kelly might have gotten swept up at work because I think she works a front desk for a hospital. Like she's a nurse at a nursing desk. So trying to do a charming for her might be complicated if she's dealing with patients. Dad, Mary says she'll be the cool chick, Ashley. Ha ha ha. Yeah, she'll be the one with all the cows around her. Just when you see her walking in the room on Facebook, she'll have all the cows, and she'll be the real pretty one with all the cows. Cash cows. Exactly, Mary. All the troublesome women are over on YouTube tonight. Lisa, Tammy, Mary. No wonder why Lakshmi keeps showing up for all you guys. That playful spirit that you all have. It's good though. Beautiful. Vicky's now joining the lady gang over on YouTube. Beautiful. Exactly. All right. Well, I don't think Kelly's still on. She might have gotten busy at work. I know she's at work, so maybe I'll catch her next week. Little sheep. Well, that's the whole point, little sheep. Stop hiding. Step into your power too. Yours was about sort of they're doing the same thing, I think. I think. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Oh no, what did I just do? How did I do that? Oh shit. Hold on, can I change? Oh no. Oh, well, weird. Okay. I just slid my, on the little pad. Hold on. Bye. Nice hair. On the little pad, I just slid my finger across and it like zoomed in my screen so I could only see a little small portion of the screen. I was like, oh shit, how do I put that back? Help, help. Circles. I make circles for a living. I don't know what that means. Okay. All right, you guys. I think Kelly's probably engaged at work, so I'm not going to bug her down for a reading. But thank you guys for buying readings. I really appreciate it. You guys help support me when you do that. So that's a huge support. So thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, which I know that you ladies over there are, and you already probably haven't done this, but please hit the thumbs up for anybody that watches this later. It greatly helps me. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. If anybody's watching on Facebook, you want to go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe there, that would be great. And vice versa, if you're watching on YouTube, please follow the business page over on Facebook. Mary Clunan, I will respond to your message tonight after class. I'll send you a letter. I don't know if you're still in there. I'll send you a message after I get out of class. About booking that. I'm always at cow pie, the help pie. Bye, Dan. Bye, Heidi Phillips. I will send you guys. No, sorry. If you have any questions, message me at the Facebook business page, and I can send you any answers that you might need. See you, Mary. Thank you. We didn't get snow today. I thought we were going to get snow. Austin got snow, and we didn't. But whatever. It's been a rather blah day. So, but I'm glad we were able to do this. Have a warm and cozy night, says Lisa, for everybody over on Facebook. Moving on, says Vicky. Vicky's one with her cow puns right now. But that charming was such a moving experience. I will call you in just a minute, Andrew, since I have some time, because it's only 5:07. But I'm glad we got... Dallas got snow too. Yeah, no, I heard. It's crazy. It's like snowing here. It's weird. Crazy. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later. Thank you so much for tuning in again. There will be Charming another next Sunday. And then, what was I going to say? Also this week, hopefully I'll do more of those Bagwell readings. I need a name for those readings. I'm not sure what I want to call them. I need like some sort of name for them because I'm not sure. I don't know. And I'll have to look at the Lenormand cards and get those cracked open, and we'll maybe do some free Lenormand card pulls or something just to practice because I want to know what those are all about. All right, you guys, have a good night. Stay warm for those of you in the colder climates, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning for the daily forecast. All right? All right, have a great night, you guys. Bye. Thank you for tuning in.